Let's talk about how you actually get started then. What are some of the most successful ways to be able to get started?
Yeah, sure. So first and foremost, when we talk to our customers about AI, we talk about their journey. And their journey is how are they going to bring this into the organization? And I use it as a journey because it's not if, it's when. And if you don't start your journey now, you're going to start it sometime in the near future. And if you don't do that, then you're going to be behind your competitors. And when you look at that journey, there's really 3 steps we walk our customers through. Step number 1 is prove. Step number 2 is adopt. And step number 3 is scale. Simple words, but broad meaning behind each one of them. So if we begin with prove, you can hear things like start small, scale fast, but prove is really about how do I bring AI into my organization in a real way. So I don't want anybody to misconstrue that we're talking about demos or small little ancillary activities. This is bring it into my organization. We've talked about data a lot, my use case, and my constituents, whether it be customers or whomever. And how do I use that capability to prove that AI can be valuable for me? We as IBM can talk all day long about what we believe it can be for you, but you as an organization have to prove it for yourself.
In your business processes.
Absolutely. Okay. Then once we have that learning, then you use that and move into scale. And scale is, into adopt. And adopt is how do I then take prove and adopt it across the organization? And this is where you get into the non-technical aspects typically of AI. What does the governance model look like? How are my roles and responsibilities going to change? How do I measure AI? Because measuring AI is different than measuring some other things you've done in the past. How does it fit into broader programs that I have, my methodologies, my best practices, and things like that? So now I'm taking the use case that I've proven, I've now applied it to my organization so I know how to go adopt it, and then guess what the last phase is? Really easy. Scale it to the enterprise.
Yep. And part of that also includes, what mechanisms have you put in place for continuous improvement, continuous adoption, continuous scale, including not just vertically within that one business organization or that business process, but also for what other adjacent business processes or other parts of the business you also want to begin to affect in a similar way. But it's also the right time to start thinking about, should I be doing the business process the way that I always have? Or is this now the time to think about a completely re-engineered business process in which I can begin to demonstrate some real impact on my market? Can I really, be disruptive in my market? Can I protect myself against other people who may be on their own trying to introduce disruptive processes that would be an advantage to them at my detriment? And so I think part of that whole scaling process has to include how are you trying to think through who you are as a business and how you're going to adopt this in a way that couldn't be done before, that allows you the freedom to go do things that are really compelling and different.